When it comes to fantasy settings, there are three things that are always very important to me. Magic and how you learn and cast it, the difference between the generic fantasy races in each setting, like how elves and goblins differ, and finally, weirdly enough, the gods. With me recently learning about my least favorite race to play, having a very interesting set of tenets to follow to make their daddy if you're happy, I wanted to put on my role-playing pants and roleplay in my role-playing game. Can you beat Skyrim Survival mode without breaking the Green Pact? Now, the Green Pact has quite a few rules, so I'll be bringing them up as they come into play. That, of course, save both of us some time. So without any stalling, we can start the opening everyone remembers, the kind of intro that gets a friend and I in the mood to sing. Under my umbrella, Ella, Ella, Under my umbrella, Ella, Ella,
Me and my laws, we fuck together.
No, we don't.
No, waggles finger.
Remember the reason why I don't go to any friends' parties?
Who are you?
And try and make the ugliest Bosmer ever conceived, but accidentally instead make the biggest Chad to ever exist. So we give him an appropriate name. Valenwood can be mentioned.
I'm sorry. We'll make sure he remains returned to Valenwood.
And instead of my head getting chopped off, it seems Ymir himself sent a dragon to save me. And now I need to deal with it to show him my thanks. I rush my way to get my binds undone. And we can start with rule 1 of following the Green Pact. Kinda. Okay, so usually the use or eating of any plant life, or wood, is strictly prohibited. But only for the trees and fauna found in Valenwood. Meaning, word for word, there's kinda no restriction. As Bosmer normally import wood from outside of Valenwood for very specific use cases. But because I'm a challenge runner, and it would kinda be very lame to have little to no rules, even though we are in Skyrim, I will be a meat vegan, and very against the use of anything wood or plant related. However, to semi-follow the imported rule, if I ever purchase a room, get given a paper letter,
I've been looking for you.
find a fire lit by someone who isn't me, or hey, hire a carriage, I'll say this use of wood is fine, to be respectful to those outside of my Green Pact. Meaning this fully iron sword is fine for me to use, as the Green Pact has no restriction over any kind of metal. Since it's not plant, or living. Insert clinker joke here. But this cotton-looking tunic they put me in is a no-go. The Imperial boots and helmet look fully leather, which means that's fine, but gasp, the tunic seems to have a cottonish looking undershirt. And as you can already start to tell, a lot of this is going to need to be me assuming. Sorry for making an ass out of me and you, but it needs to be done this way, as most crafting recipes make it so most, if not everything, doesn't take any wood or animal byproduct. But I'll keep you updated on things that I think are and are not acceptable. Find out the saddest part of the whole run. Oh, I'm so sad.
What?
I can't grab buckets. Life's not fair, man. Before the debatably most peaceful race in all of Tamriel can go on the straight up murder spree. Gather the best animal made equipment on the way, meaning you're telling me a fur forged these gloves? And since plants are kinda off the table, that means I can't really drink potions I don't make, since a lot of potions can be entirely made out of animal byproducts, such as wings, fat, and honey. As if I'm following some very early, yet still very weird carnivore diet. And speaking of no trees, not only do most mages' clothes look nothing like hide or leather, to learn magic in Skyrim, one must use or consume a book, made fully of paper. And since before the run started I kinda disallowed my starting spells, because it would kinda be more fun to not have on-demand heal or flame, but now that I've learned that books are the only way to get spells, this kinda makes this a spellless run. So boo-womp SpongeBob for me. However, the last good thing to come out of the intro quest is some early spider poison, to make up for the worst one-handed starting skill, and the worst damage sword in the game. We can make our way out of Helgen to show that I also installed a religion mod that'll let me praise Ymir. But since it only seemed that this mod gave upsides with zero downsides, I made sure to get my following with the god to 200% before being able to finish the game. Before we can finally turn on the least fun mode in any video game, survival mode. The run to Riverwood can be quiet, catching butterflies for later, selecting my standing stone, and wang! So there is another, it's the weakest, whatever. There is another small part of the Green Pact to follow. While most likely outdated, the meat mandate was, or still is, another rule of the Green Pact, stating to not waste or make the killing of someone worth nothing. The bodies of our enemies shall be eaten no longer than 3 days after falling in battle. Meaning, if I don't make it back to Helga by the 20th of last seed to eat everything I've killed, I've failed the challenge. If you're a knower, now you see why Drifter was the thumbnail. Those are pretty much the only rules I need to worry about, as not becoming a werewolf or vampire, not making a house out of wood, not harming trees or plant for my own betterment, and of course not smoking that Zaza are pretty easy to do. So my stroll to get myself acquainted with the lands kinda turns into an all-out sprint. My little wood elf's hanging branch can purchase a ride to Markarth, which might seem like a waste of time, something that matters in survival mode thanks to hunger and sleep requirements. But if we talk to Mr. Man over here, we can enter his Hall of the Dead to find out he was hiding a person who makes analog horror content.
You were young when you first tasted human flesh, weren't you?
Who, once we start talking, wants me to clear a nearby cave that's needed for some sort of party. Once I show up back to meet her, I tell her with confidence in the ego of a Walter White, I can clear this dungeon all on my own. But once I remember I'm playing survival mode, but booty naked, covered in no potions, I can take out 2 Draugrs, get my bearings, and find out a dungeon has more than 2 reanimated sword slingers, get rewarded with an ancient Nord bitch slap, and put on my metaphorical big elf pants, because shortest race in the game, and ask for help. But don't worry, with my earlier hubris leaving me at 2 HP, turns this into a fight that no easy. It quite hard actually, but with us working together, I can find myself a better all-metal ancient iron sword. Almost get a shield, but I don't know about that wrap though. Looks a bit untrustworthy. And also find out dropping shields in front of dead Nords is apparently disrespectful. Think about maybe going the way of the Nurbit and using the 2-handed greatsword. Find out that isn't happening, and also I'm pretty sure he uses 2-handed warhammers. Iola can take on the Overlord, and my reward for clearing this place is getting invited to the party that will be held here. But first I need to pick up someone at Markarth. Tell God, not today. And with a bit more hunting, as well as egg stealing, I can talk to Brother Snack, and find out that he wasn't invited. He and his holy booty butt cheeks are the meal. Before I get to dig in, I find a chest that finally has some actual armor. Guess I'm dressing my best for this function. I also find a staff, a way to cast spells that I'd never really use in the whole run. Either way, I get to carve the turkey, and get to take the first bite. The goddess of eating people gets told, this was not worth it. And I get the ring that lets me eat the people. Yafia reminds me I gotta rush back to Helga, so I forget the egg, and start running my way back to dinner. It's the 19th of last seed. So close, yet so far. I rush my way all the way back to the bodies, and they despawned. All of them, they're all gone. And my screen is blurry because I haven't slept. So, challenge failed. Thank you, my copy of Skyrim being ass. To at least let myself feel something, I get the cold touch of a lady who wants to kill me, eat her because tummy ache, and sleep until my screen isn't blurry. And if you haven't played it, sleeping in survival mode actually lets you level up. Every stat increase will be health, as it's Skyrim, and if you're one of those people that don't level up only health, then you're probably smarter at making builds than me, but I don't know. But either way, both perk points will be spent making my swording more sword. And since fast travel isn't allowed in survival mode, I start a hunting trail to Bleak Falls Barrow. Find out my Lord and Savior Green as Christ thinks I'm worth a little bit of his time. But the only thing worth my time is spoiler-free backrooms talk with a friend.
Dude, there was one part in the movie where I jumped, and it was when the...
Hang on. Can I guess it without,
I found it.
Spoiling it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Was it the white woman jump scare?
Yeah, it was the white one.
Get to be an officer as these bandits were reaching, and while taking them out doesn't take a toll on me, if I have to keep fighting humanoids, I'm about to have that dynamo belly goodness.
I'm doing it!
That's fucking stupid. If you've ever played Skyrim, you know with my early game equipment, I can take out early game enemies. Early XP lets me invest in sneak, mostly for some maybe stealth archering later on, if I can find a green pack friendly not wooden bow and not wooden arrows. But for now, I can at least be the crazed butt stabber. And with a reminder of another way I can't use spells or poisons, I do remember that hunting is a state of mind, and free poison is always a good addition to my pocket. Find Arvil the Swift, Arvil the Tasty. The rest of the druggers are easy to take out, but since they are moldy, that means no more tight bites for me. So once I clear most of them, it's a quick honk shoe for full health, and a touch of tiptoeing skill. If I'm on a second monitor and you're gaming, that means I level up Sneak again. But after the woes of being a second monitor hoe, I can complete the preschool puzzle by remembering to spin each door stone twice. Ooh. And while I'm no Skyrim master, I too can mash block, then swing my sword, and do that over and over until the bop boom pow. My only reward is getting the same sword I already have, but cold and a little blue. And of course the main story Dragonstone. Another addition to the religion mod is extra shrines, allowing me to donate some coin because this is Skyrim and I will always have too much money. Go hunting to blow off steam, and when I finally get to Whiterun, try to become Mr. White so I can cook, only to find out I'm missing that white rock to be able to pull it off. I at least get the confirmation that most, if not all, cooked meat is eatable, just like cheese, as it's simply animal byproduct and or meat with salt. A Dunmer walks up suspicious of me, but dun, dragons are coming, and the Jarl needs my help. I already have the Stone of Dragon BS, which means the dragon is already on its way to turn Whiterun into Burnt Run. But since I make the mistake of being the bowless archer guy that happens to be in the room, it is now fully my burden to bear. Or burden to deer, I guess. If you've played Skyrim, you're probably pretty aware that this section is pretty much a cutscene, especially with my current lack of ranged options.
Sometimes you gotta take your fart.
Gotta take your fart? But since I still wanted to be a part of this little dragon killing project, which goes about as well as coughing baby versus atomic bomb.
I never learned how to read!
But thanks to having fellow fighters who can actually distract it, we're very easily able to descale the dragon, which allows me to get studded armor, but slightly better, get to take a huge hit of that galaxy gas. My favorite. Doing so well that I'm told I need to get even higher, like 7,000 steps higher. The Jarl predictably doesn't know much about my people, as both of the rewards I receive for working for him are both unusable thanks to a wooden handle and a cloth shirt. Get the reminder that I'm meant to be a bowman and not a swordsman, find a man who's lying about being a soldier, so we slice and dice and sneak a quick bite. Another person tries to rob me about 2 minutes later, and instead of getting my money, they get to become an after-fight snack. Almost have to chase down a body, but thankfully, I did in fact indeed find out what the deal was with airline food. Show proof that I am still hunting. Before we sleep in Iverstead, find out that if I wear my armor a slightly different way, I can wear it even better. Before it's up, unfortunately, the first of many trips up the 7,000 steps, thanks in part to no fast travel. Most of it is dealing with a wolf or two, and of course the troll of stop trying to go this way challenge runner, go get stronger. Until I pull out the cold sword and pour some Resident Evil 7 goop juice on it, allowing me to murder the troll with lots of health to spare. But we can finally get into the warm stone place filled with old men. Some old men that like to scream at the ground and stare at me like I was the one who broke the floor. And after yelling like they do, my reward is being able to watch the test I will soon complete, as you get to pass the test of being overwhelmed by a normal voice call interaction with the homies.
Heaven knows
Bryn is Jeff.
now.
I was
Bryn is
looking
Jeff
for a
and Crowd
job
is
and I
Sam.
found the job. And heaven knows I'm miserable now.
This is
My life. Why do I try?
Before learning how to sprint with my screams. And to make the old man happy and cream, I need to get them the horn from the pub, or a horn from a dungeon. Finally realized the hell that I've made for myself. Hey cake guy, I made a serious lapse in my judgment. I was like, I'm gonna play Skyrim with survival mode, and now my ass has to walk back down the 7,000 steps.
Dude,
and my
that's
ass is gonna have to go back up them a couple times.
Dude, didn't I make a joke about that like a month or two ago where I was like, man, Skyrim survival mode be so cool, then boom, 7,000 steps.
You mind if I steal that joke and put
That's fine, yeah.
Yes! The only thing that makes me happy on this walk for the Horn is some more free airline food. And finally get myself what I think is the only bow I can use in the game. There is a cave near Whiterun that has a few quote-unquote mid-game enemies, known as Falmer. They tend to live in these caves with little to no vegetation, and get to be the best friend that I could kill, as Falmer not only make their own swords, their own bows, but also their own arrows. And when I look at every aspect of the bows and the arrows, they seem to fully be made of their big bug pets chitin, as well as fully processed leather for its string and handle. Meaning this is a plant-free bow, and with the arrows not having a crafting recipe, as they are the worst arrow in the game, worse than iron in fact, somehow, this means that they are most likely not made from wood either, and a closer look gives them a buggy texture as well. There was also a Falmer war axe that I could have used, and as I kind of look back at this, should have used, as axes can get bleed with the right perks. I honestly don't know why I didn't take this. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer axes over the swords. I don't know why I didn't take it. I haven't even invested in the sword perk yet. I don't know why I didn't take this. Okay. That would have made things easier. Whatever. So I thank the Falmer by giving them the ability to not live in this awful cave. My bow training goes terribly. Remembering I don't really do any bow archer stuff, not because it's boring to watch or to play, but mostly because me stealthing is like trying to sneak a fantasy slur into a conversation. Oh, but the Marvel community can say muties. Okay, fine, whatever. But the last good piece of gear I can get is an actual shield that is also fully chitin. So I take some free eggs, scavenge some free food, mostly because it's still my main healing for now. Also get a little archery crown for later, as the healing train gets a bit better with some salt for cooking, salmon for later, and blue dragonflies that I will talk to you about in a bit. We finally travel over to the Horn Cave, and thankfully, for better and not for worse, it's filled with some delectable combat snacks. So with this place being filled with that battlefield medicine, it's easy for me to get a foot in the door and a heart in my pocket. And when the human jerky becomes moldy jerky, I'm still able to become ethereal for later, and with lots of HP to spare. No! Stab it! Bah! Find out that the Horn has become a haha, I stole your stuff, come find me at this inn at Riverwood letter. I do take the long way back to grab more bug bits, as now that I've gotten a green pack allowed sword, green pack allowed bow and arrows, I now want green pack allowed potions. I do need to sleep at Solitude first, and after a full night shut-eye, I can find out that one butterfly wing and one blue dragonfly wing, I can get myself a disgusting restore health potion that companies nowadays would say is a protein-packed energy liquid. But hey, health is health. And even though my traveling is now ruined by needing to catch bugs alongside the usual huntings, I still follow the instructions from the letter. I found out the person who stole the horn is this mean lady, who becomes less mean as I can now take this giant toe, but becomes mean again as she makes me need to show I'm the Dragonborn by killing a dragon, which means I need to march back into the cold to prove a point because of the biggest weakness in life, getting told no blows. Find out dragons can talk. I think he's talking to you, Delphine. But also, find out that if you rush a dragon when it still hasn't put on its fighting pants, you can not only get it tomato red, but even after the salad dragon was found dressing, I can easily get it back to being dead, leaving me unfulfilled. And he's gone. I thought that was gonna be rough as hell. That wasn't nothing. But viewer, this is good news. I can get hit with the most unnecessary roast ever created.
Yo, you know what? I might just fucking put Bebop in my roster, bro.
Ooh, that's the sound of my queeves.
Grown man, by the way. Grown man, by the way.
Pushing 30, by the way.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. All right. Okay. You didn't have to say that. You didn't have to. You know you didn't.
Time to start a family.
You had no
You're
need.
19, go join the army or something. Start a family.
I think that is the most hurtful thing anyone has ever said to me in my entire life. Jesus. You're not nice, bro. You're not
Calm
nice.
down, holy.
Oh my god, he's croaking! He's croaking.
At least I'm told I'm headed to a party. Worried no food will be at said party, I kill and eat a quick cultist. Cannibalism. For good. And needing a place to cook, I quickly steal someone's home, getting some bass and goat for later. Since my new potions are still kinda at a premium. But I'm now off to my least favorite hold, getting to do the classic of being told I can only bring the essentials before shoving everything I own into Malborn's backpack. Delphine becomes super mean once again, as she gives me the most cotton-infused party outfit of no you cannot beat the challenge. So thanks for that, you meanie bitch. Meet Elf Mommy. What a transition. Get allowed to enter this party, which surprisingly had snacks just for me. Get to give that weird uncle his favorite potion that makes him ruin Thanksgiving, steal the last of the appetizers in the kitchen, and I now need to make my way past every relative that even tries to ask about how's work going. And thanks to the high elves only being high with calories from my shrinking HP bar, it's quite easy to clear out the embassy. Getting myself a foot upgrade with elven boots and gloves. Boots and gloves and boots and gloves. But no tunic. Clear my way out, and once every ass is eaten, I can find a book for Delphine. And if you have any stealth, you can read the book at the top of the steps and stab the guard from behind. Get to share a meal with Malborn, and we can also be homies in wood and take out the silly troll who blocks the path. Unfortunately, we can't hunt together, but this job gets Delphine the info that she didn't want, but is happy to hear. A man named Esbern is in the Riften sewers, but instead of taking care of that now, I have another want. Since I've been low on arrows since I've gotten the damn bow, I haven't been able to be a proper bowboy. So I make my way to Mizenkalafte, a name I said fully correctly. And once you get past the many bandits, and of course the dwarven bulls and not so creepy crawlies, we once again have more Falmar to worry about. Where I can once again show this arrow is not made of wood, and try and train my aim, as well as farm these underground fellas for arrows. But after kinda being bad like I am at most games, I decided to somewhat use an exploit to make sure I can have enough arrows for now. Basically, two archers really want to kill me with some sort of kill cam trick shot, and keep shooting at me, and once the arrow hits the ground, you can just pick it up. And since you can't craft these arrows, and from me never being able to find them on sale, this is seemingly my only way to farm them. He farmed them, getting a little over 100 to not feel the fear of having no arrows to shoot. Get to see what that David fellow must have felt against the Goliath, who knew he must have also been a stealth archer, and the experience allows my arrows now to have a chance to crit. A similar thing with my Falmar toothpick. I then run through the worst swamp ever for more bug bits. Fucking what is with my teas today? So that I can continue to make the green pack allowed rum and cokes. I'm close to being in full favor with my green pact, until one lady kinda makes it weird and I take my personal time somewhere else. I'd say elsewhere, but I ain't from there. So it's now time to go to the He Went Rataway, getting to further train my combat and eating, and getting myself a few more potions, before finding out Esbern already has elves on his trail. And even though I'm the archer who never hits a second shot, I still think he's safer in my hands, so I start to turn the Thalmor into the Go Downmore. Get to confront Esbern about what he did on the 30th of Frostfall, you dirty dog. And after fighting with the man, we easily find out what he must have been up to alone in this cave.
Sheldon Lee Cooper, you dog.
Jordan, would you dress up as Talking Tom for me?
For Halloween?
No.
Oh, right now.
Whatever.
You just want me in a cat outfit, is what you're asking me?
Dog. Dog. Oh, wait, no. I meant Ben. Shit. Oops.
Talking Tom dog. Incorrect,
Not
actually.
Talking Tom, Ben. I meant Ben.
Why do you think he's called Talking Tom? Do you think there's like a lore reason, maybe?
Ben.
Yeah. His parents named him that.
Oh my god. Bravo, Vince.
Baby, I love money? No. Oh, baby, I love
Bravo,
killing.
Talking Tom then sends a lawyer at us, but I assure her suing me would be possible. Not so sharp blades meet. Asburn can Fortnite emote a book that says we now need to go to Alduin's Wall, meaning a carriage ride to Markarth, where I first need to find out a place to take a quick rock nap, fight a quick dragon that kinda comes out of nowhere, and after quickly shooting it out of the sky, we make it to the Forsworn camp that had another dragon, because why not? The Forsworn also have a good upgrade on Green Pack allowed armor, but not weapons. And after doing a little research, this is probably very close to the most warmth that I'm going to be able to get, at least if I'm following the Green Pact. Get the reminder that most other arrows are off the table, we make our way to the Land of the Face, once again fail run because screw you Iron Dagon with wooden handle animation, find out this game has a katana, which I actually didn't know about, and get told by the blades that I now need to learn a dragon word that makes dragons not fly for about 2 seconds. I grab a quick backstab perk, and fail the challenge by accidentally grabbing a flower. And after loading a save, the airline joke has to end here, as I accidentally make my next post-fight meal do a cannonball. So now my soggy meat is eaten, and after finally breaking back... What? And after finally bringing back the Horn Hub, I can get an angry talking to by the geezers, who now needs to help me get to the Parth who snacks. Or something, I wasn't really listening, so we temporarily get out of the cold. I take all the white that this old man is willing to give me. I scream at the weather until it gets better, getting a few ice elementals killed and putting it in a bottle for later. Before dragon. Hi, dragon. To learn the bad dragon word, I need to learn a different dragon word first. And with the dragon happy to hear his favorite word, I tell him that the world is kinda chill, I guess. And he says that if I'm going to save the world, I need a dragon scroll, which I'm told can be found near the coldest part of the map. The best part about this is the travel.
No.
Man, I'm so glad it took me 33 minutes to get up the fucking 7,000 steps and talk to Parthu Snacks. Now I'm gonna have to go back down, get a fucking scroll, and do it again.
Bro, really is
Alright.
syphilis.
Syphilis. Bro, really is syphilis. Hey, yo, man, dab me up. Yo, bro, dab me up. That's so funny as hell. But enough YouTuber whining. I take out a camp of, I think, bad people so that I don't really remember what I was doing here. But I did get another fully metal sword, and I saved a bug guy. Then I went to Winterhold. Only after I verified files because my copy of Skyrim doesn't fully function anymore. But since Bethesda isn't fixin', I'm not complaining, as I freeze and shiver my way to an ice-cold camp, where Mr. Moneyname says I can find the scroll if I bring him back something else, which I don't, but he still gives me what I need to gather the scroll regardless. The cold area shows itself to be a not good place to be as someone as uncovered as myself, so I warm up in the igloo as Coin Man, but it seems the cold was going to take me out, until I asked the Green Pack, why? Why when I go, ooh, it's cold air, but it's hot air? Which for some reason makes you pity me. I think he knows that I'm stupid now, and allows me to walk out alive, making my way to the ruins I was told about, another dwarven location that lets me try to stock up on arrows. This location needs me to play more slow to not waste any potions, but once Iron Man, if he was cool, appears, it turns into me running away and healing. But I at least win the 50-50 of Black Reach either being all enemies not detecting me, or them chasing me to the ends of the earth, which lets me go in a slightly warmer location with a brand new scroll. I can get ambushed by a meme. Not today, Satan, not today. Now you know what, I haven't heard the voice line in a while, fine.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Find out I'm 8.2% away from getting into Bosmar Heaven, get some weird Skyrim memories.
You win Parther Snacks, doesn't Parther?
Dude. I always remember as a kid playing this fucking game and walking everywhere when I had the chance. Now that I'm a grown-ass man that pays taxes that's pushing 30, dude, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
This is some ass. Who does this? How is this enjoyable? I play fucking better than wolves for entertainment, and this shit ass. Stand by and respect the warm dead tree. Look at scroll before another no you cannot hits the challenge run. Skyrim survival mode is kinda bugged when standing in the cold, mostly during these non-interactive moments. as it still kind of registers you being there, even though you're kind of not being there. And when you leave the Dragon Slayer cutscene, you get popped back out and die because cold, I guess. I tested this for a few hours, only to find out that the fixes included, but are most likely not limited to, holding a torch. Against the rules, has wood. Wearing stealth rim armor. Against the rules, has hits of cotton looking cloth. Eating a hot stew. Against the rules, as every one of them contain at least one vegetable. Casting one of the few spells affected by survival mode. Not allowed, reading books is dumb. I learned that from Fahrenheit 451. I only read the first 2 pages. So instead, to fix the bug, I exit survival mode before the cutscene starts and turn it back on once the cutscene finishes, leaving me at the coldness that I should be at once I climb the mountain. Bug fixed. The fight with Alduin is the fight with Alduin. I mean, I have a shout to ground him once I run out of the potions I allow myself to use for saving some for later. In desperation, I find out if I stuff my face with butterfly wings and cheese wheels, I can stay in good enough shape for the rest of the fight, giving me the spare time to not only shoot the wrong dragon,
That's breath snacks.
but shoot almost all of my remaining arrows, eating almost all of my cooked meat, and sending Alduin back to the home that is not his own.
Come on, one more arrow.
Yeah, baby!
Go to solving balls, bitch.
So now that I need to go to Sovngarde, I can not only be lied to,
Oh my gosh. I just realized I'm gonna have to fucking go to Whiterun. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go to Whiterun, come back to the 7,000 steps, go back to Whiterun, go to Windhelm, go back up the 7,000 steps, and then go back to Whiterun.
I have bad
Oh my
news, Lars.
god.
I have really, really bad news, Lars.
What?
I'm pretty sure Sovngarde is cold.
but I can also be forced to set up the boring Peace Council. So instead of showing you the getting of the Peace Council, I'll instead share a side quest that went to a similar location. To be able to help, I need to find a stolen dagger called, probably not what's written in my script, the Metal Vein doesn't sound right, I think it was the Nettlebane? Sure. Which is on a body of a weird crow lady. With it, I'm told to use it to tickle this tree to make it waggle its toes at me, so that I can donate some of its tree blood to help the other tree. I see this as not harming the tree, as well as not harming it for my own good, as it is a simple blood donation to help the other tree live longer. Once the lady gets the sap, we can see the results soon. But first, I need to tell both sides of the war to stop fighting! Find out that the Blades are very not chill, as they want me to kill Parthusnax. Instead, I tame a dragon because I'm cool as hell, and get to check out the beautiful tree. Or as probably beautiful in 2011, but I don't know. And frankly, after being kinda sick of survival mode at this point, in dealing with barely functioning Skyrim, to make it simple, I use Become Ethereal every chance I can on my way to Sovereign Balls, since I was worried about my lack of heals. But also because, after the fight with Soon Daddy, the fight... Man, that's a heater of a joke. The fight with Alduin is kinda lame. Lame and easy. I mean, you get the 3 people who died by his claw and fight him, but again, and they kinda have much stronger equipment than myself, so I kinda don't really need to do anything. I still go in and fight, but the fight was over at the throat of the world. So we can finally figure out, kinda yeah, kinda no, kinda I don't know what to tell ya. I mean, you may almost be able to beat Skyrim without breaking the green pack if you don't count the cutscenes, the forced sections, and of course, the few bugs. Thank you all so much for watching, and show your support however you see fit. And thank you very much for your patience. I know those videos come out a lot later than I thought it would. I'm not trying to get on the streak of monthly long-form uploads, I swear. Just a mix of really wanting to try other things, getting kind of stuck between challenge run ideas, and this one just kind of being a little difficult because of survival mode. As always, leave any ideas you have down below. Gonna keep trying to stream more, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, not as always.
Pushing 30, by the way.